So it's currently Thursday and I am 7 weeks and 2 days along, according to the scan I had last week. I love how Garmin gives you little messages like, the volume of blood in your body increases 30 to 50% during pregnancy. You can expect your heart rate to quicken as well as to keep with the growing demand. If you'd like to monitor your heart rate more closely, Garmin can do this for you. I'm 7 weeks and 2 days now, according to the scan I had last week. The NHS believes I'm around 9 weeks based on the date of my last period, but that isn't taking into account my general cycle. And obviously they haven't seen the scan because the scan was private, or a private company, a private business that we got the scan through. I was hoping to do a bit of exercise today. However, I had a bit of a difficult dog walk this morning. My first group, I only had 2 dogs on the group, and one of the dogs is a semi-on lead dog, so he can be off lead in certain areas, but around other dogs he has to be on lead because he gets a bit too overexcited and starts humping. And he was on lead at the time, and as we rounded a corner he saw there was a crow or a magpie on the floor directly in front of him as we went round this blind corner, and he just charged after it. And as he's charged after it, he has yanked on the he's got to the very end of the lead at high speed and just yanked me, and it has caused me so much pain. Not pain, it was like manageable, tolerable, but I've now got a bruise. Like, I have a circular bruise which is primarily on my left side and also the front of my belly, where he has actually pulled me so hard. I was not happy about that. But because of that, I seem to have some sort of strain on or ache in my left side. And like I said, I've now got the bruise, the very small bruise, thankfully, on my belly. And I do confidently believe that my current excess belly fat actually protected me in that scenario and potentially protected Minion as well. So for once in my life, I'm actually grateful for the excess body fat that I currently have. Again, because of the pull and now because of the bruises, I am in a fair bit of pain when I move or twist in certain ways. I didn't want to risk doing exercise just in case, because I don't want to cause myself more damage. I don't want to cause myself more pain. So I'm just taking today as another rest day. And on top of that, Jason has made pancakes. I say made, he's done the batter. I'm going to be doing the cooking because he's not the best when it comes to cooking pancakes. I seem to be a bit better than him. Or should I say, every time he tries to cook them, they usually get messy. Every time I cook them, they mostly come out perfect. We are going to be making pancakes this afternoon. He's treating me to pancakes, which I'm very excited for. And then tomorrow, I finally have my first appointment with my midwife, which is exciting and scary all at the same time. Sadly, Jason cannot come with us because he couldn't get the day off work, but Jason's mum is going to be coming with us instead. Originally, she wasn't meant to be coming. She actually had plans to go down south to see some family members, and she changed her mind and said her grandchild is more, or little Minion is more important to her, which is so sweet. But at the same time, I really don't want her to drop everything for little Minion, even though Minion is technically at this point her only grandchild. So she is very, 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 very excited. Very, very, very excited for little Minion, like beyond excited, which is so lovely. It is really, really lovely to see her so happy. But she will be coming with me in Jason's place because one of the questions that they do ask, or one of the things they do need to know about, is Jason's family history or the medical history of Jason's side of the family, such as if there's any diabetes or things like that. Having her there instead of Jason to basically give that information and also as a bit of support would be very, very nice. So she's coming along with me tomorrow. And then I have my dog walks in the afternoon. But yes, that is very, very exciting to finally have my booking appointment. It's starting to feel more real. Every single time something else happens, it's feeling more real because I still don't really feel pregnant because, as I've said, most of my symptoms I have on a day-to-day basis because of my illnesses or because of my ailments. So I don't really feel pregnant. I don't feel any different to how I feel on a day-to-day when my anemia is playing up or when my inflammatory bowel disease is playing up. Every single time something like this is happening. So when I got my first scan, or when I got the private scan, which confirmed that Minion was there, and I don't know if Minion's a boy or a girl, so I don't know why I'm saying he. I think in my brain something's telling me that it's a boy based on the old wives' tales. Like, you have less morning sickness when it's a boy. Basically, going off the old wives' tales, it suggests that I could be having a boy. Now, apparently girls have much worse morning sickness or something like that. But I don't want to go off that information. I don't want to go off guesswork. So I don't know if Minion's a boy or girl. I have no idea. I've not even had my first scan yet. But it's exciting. it's exciting. So when I had my first scan and we saw Minion for the first time and saw Minion's little heartbeat, really set it in stone and made it feel real, or set it in stone more. It still felt like they were just showing me a recording on a TV screen. It didn't necessarily feel like that was my body that I was looking at. I don't really know how to explain it. I almost didn't believe, like I knew it was real, but I almost didn't believe that what they were showing me was me, and inside me I felt like it was a false thing on a screen, and it wasn't, but that's how it felt. And it just still doesn't quite feel 100% real. It still feels like a bit of a daydream, and I don't like that feeling of daydreaminess. So when I then got my booking appointment, it felt a little more real. When I actually go to my booking appointment tomorrow, it'll feel a little more real. When I finally get my first trimester scan at what the NHS believes will be around my 12 weeks, I know for a fact that is when I will really, truly know that it is true. And that's when that's when it'll really, truly hit home for me, is when I see that first official 12-week scan. Although for me, it's actually probably going to be closer to 10 weeks. Knowing what I know now, that's tomorrow. My booking appointment is tomorrow. Not the first scans. First scan's not for 3 more weeks or so. But tomorrow is my first booking appointment, my first chat with my midwife, which is very exciting. Very, very exciting indeed. So it is Friday and I am currently 7 weeks and 3 days into my pregnancy. I actually had my first midwife appointment today. It was very exciting. I say very exciting. It wasn't anything special. Like, the first appointment isn't anything special. It's literally just like a medical questionnaire to get a better idea of you and your health and your partner's health and your partner's family's health and your family's biological health, to work out whether or not there's anything that they need to be aware of. And as predicted, I am classed as a high-risk pregnancy, which I knew I would be. And sure enough, it's because of my inflammatory bowel disease. For those of you that may or may not know, I do suffer with inflammatory bowel disease, specifically ulcerative colitis, or definitely ulcerative colitis. Possibility that I also have Crohn's. However, there wasn't enough evidence at the time to confirm whether or not I had Crohn's disease, but I definitely have ulcerative colitis. But the doctors always told me to refer to it as inflammatory bowel disease because I was on the fence, kind of thing. Anyway, because that is an autoimmune disease, or classed as an autoimmune disease, I am therefore a high-risk pregnancy, because autoimmune conditions can directly affect baby if I have a flare-up or if something triggers me. Now, because I already know my triggers, I do have that advantage. I just list them down as allergies and tell my midwife to avoid them at all costs. So I do have that advantage. So I've given her my list of known allergies at the moment, which is lactose or dairy, just in case, beef and caffeine, so that she knows to avoid any medicines or any food while I'm in the hospital at any point that avoids milk, beef and caffeine, and obviously medication that includes caffeine. So we have that bonus. We have that bonus indeed. And a couple of people have said to me, like, don't worry too much about you being a high-risk pregnancy. It's like, I hope you're not too stressed by it and stuff like this. And, oh, you poor soul, like, I hope everything's okay. Like, don't get too worried about it. I'm like, I'm sure it's not a big deal. And I'm so confused by these comments, because I actually came home to Jason, and I've also been out to see my friend Vicky today, and I was saying, is like, I don't know why everyone's telling me not to stress. I am doing the complete opposite of stress. I'm excited about being a high-risk pregnancy because I know I'm healthy, and I've had multiple blood tests in the last 2 years, multiple urine tests, multiple scans and checks and everything that confirm that I am extremely fit and healthy on the inside, regardless of my weight and how much I actually weigh. Weirdly enough, there is actually something about that I need to go into that I was discussed with a midwife, but that's regardless. I am a fit and healthy person, so I know that even though they have to medically class me as a high-risk pregnancy, so long as I don't have a flare-up, I should be fine. So I'm not panicked or worried or stressed in any way, shape or form. In fact, I'm excited to be a high-risk pregnancy because I feel like a VIP. I'm not even joking. I feel like an NHS VIP right now. I am getting the best treatment. I'm getting referrals. I'm getting priority referrals. I'm getting extra scans, so I get to see my baby more and I get to see their progress more and make sure that everything's okay. I'm having to have extra checks. I'm being referred to physiotherapy. I'm being referred to this and that and the other, and it's like, this is great. I have spent years trying to get GPs to take me seriously and to actually look at all my issues and conditions, and for the first time I'm actually having someone take me seriously and actually get me the referrals that I need and get me the things that I need to help with the pregnancy. So this is great. This is literally heaven. Do you have any idea how many years I have gone to GPs with problems, and their very first response has been, try lose some weight. If the problem still occurs, come back to us then. And then I've not been able to lose the weight. So the problem continues to occur and the GP does nothing about it because I've not lost the weight and I need to lose the weight first before they can investigate everything else. So the fact that a midwife has actually looked at my history and gone, yeah, I can see from your blood, like we're going to do extra blood tests now for other things. We're going to do a urine test for other things, but I can see from your previous history that you are fit and healthy on the inside. You should not be the weight that you are. This is the second time now in the space of 6 months, 4 months. In the space of 4 months, this is the second time a medical professional has actually looked seriously at my medical history and my tests and said, yes, you're a fit and healthy person. You should not be at this weight. The midwife actually suggested to me to get in contact with my GP at some point and get my thyroid checked. Apparently, the fact that I have inflammatory bowel disease, the fact that I have inflammatory ulcerative colitis, already means that I will actually have difficulty losing weight. My body automatically stores carbohydrates and fats better than other nutrients, so it's actually normal for me to be at a heavier weight because of my autoimmune disease. On top of this, because I need to get it checked just to be sure, or she's recommended that I get it checked because it could also be a factor. If I do have any thyroid issues or my thyroid isn't behaving the way it should, that could also be a contributing factor as to why I'm struggling to lose weight, which would make so much sense. It would make so much sense because in a way it'd be nice because then I have an actual medical reason. It's like, it turns out I already had a medical reason and didn't realise it. Even though as much as I know about ulcerative colitis as I do, I wasn't aware just how much weight gain you can actually get from ulcerative colitis. And turns out that actually might be one of the biggest factors as to why I struggle to lose weight in general, or why I am the size that I am. You know what I say, the size that I am, you can't actually see anything past the boobs because the boobs have got so big. The boobs have got so big. The boobs have already gone up 2 chest sizes. I'm still in the first trimester. I am still in the first trimester and my boobs have already gone up 2 breast sizes. Like, oh, do you have any idea how stressful that is? How much extra weight is on this chest right now? I literally have, I need to weigh them. I've got so much weight on my chest. When I take my bra off, the weight on my chest is agony. Anyway, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, aren't I? All in all, I'm feeling great about being a high-risk pregnancy. I am seeing the positives. I am seeing that I'm getting all these extra scans, so I get to see the progress of my baby every other week or so. I'm getting all this extra special treatment. I'm getting priority referrals. I'm getting priority this, that, and the other for all my scans and stuff. So I see it as a positive. I see this as a great thing because internally I know I'm perfectly healthy and there's no reason for this not to be a safe, healthy pregnancy. But because of my medical condition, I get to have all these VIP privileges. It's like, I feel great about it. I really, really do. The nurse has said that because of my iron deficiency anemia, I do probably need to take more folic acid than what the recommended amount is. So she is actually trying to sort me out a prescription for a higher dose of folic acid. And she's also trying to arrange for me to get some aspirin, which I think is a blood thinner, but I'm not sure. But it's because due to my unfortunate weight, which again, she's actually confirmed is probably out of my control, because of my slightly heavier weight, and because of my inflammatory bowel disease, and also because of my anemia, and also because it's my first pregnancy, and also because I'm of an older age, being nearly 37. I'm still 36 at the moment. I'm nearly 37. All of those factors combined, I do have an increased risk of preeclampsia. So because of that, she is putting me on aspirin just as a precaution. And something else as well, I think the aspirin is also for anti-inflammatories and stuff like that, just as an extra precaution to something else. I'm not sure. But basically I'm getting a prescription for aspirin that I will need to take on today. I'm getting a prescription for extra folic acid. She has said to me that again, because of my IBD, I need to stay extra hydrated, especially at the moment when we're having a bit of a heat wave again. Diet-wise, she said keep doing what you're doing. You know what your triggers are, you know what to avoid. I can refer you to a dietitian if needed. So she is currently looking into that for me, which I probably don't need because I've already sorted out my diet myself and she's admitted it's perfectly fine. But just in case I need it, she has said that she can refer me to a dietitian. She is going to look into getting me referred for my ulcerative colitis to get rechecked because it hasn't been checked in years. And when I say years, I mean 20 years since I got diagnosed, and I have not had the doctor call me in for a single checkup since, or to check how I'm doing. Any time that I've actually gone to my doctor since and complained of an issue and mentioned my inflammatory bowel disease, my doctor, there's been several occasions where my doctor's turned around and gone, you've not got inflammatory bowel disease. I've had to say, yes, I do. I definitely have inflammatory bowel disease. And he's actually had to go back through my medical records to find it and gone, oh yeah, are you not seeing a specialist for that? Well, no, because no one's referred me to a specialist. Oh, okay. And they've just left it at that. It's like, no, I've just admitted to you that no one's actually ever referred me to a specialist. No one's ever done anything like that for me. And you've just left it at that. You've not even gone, would you like to see a specialist? You've not actually asked me, is it something I'm concerned about? Okay, fine, whatever. Sorry, going on a bit of a tangent again there. Things are so far looking good. The appointment went really well. I'm also having to have a glucose test, which apparently they do offer to people, but because there is a history of diabetes in my immediate family, I am having to actually go for that test. And because there is a history of cardiac issues or heart issues in both mine and Jason's family histories, they do have to be extra monitoring of my blood pressure and also my heart rate and things like that. So that is also something that I'm getting specialist treatment for, which I'm loving. I'm loving all this treatment. All these things that I've been complaining about are finally getting looked at. It's great. Anyway, I'm going to leave that vlog here. Oh, that is something else that happened that I nearly forgot about. Part of your first appointment is they take blood samples to do blood tests and a urine sample to do a urine test. And when the midwife was actually going to get my blood, all the nurses love my arm because look at that vein. Look at how clear that vein is. Nurses go mad for my vein. Like this one, not so much. You can't really see that one. But this one, nurses go mad for this vein. They take one look at it and go, it's a chunky one. They get dead excited, which I find so funny. And sure enough, as soon as she said, right, we need to take a blood test. Do you have any available? And she literally stopped mid-sentence and went, that's a great vein. Which just made me giggle. It was so funny. But anyway, we got ready for the blood test. I put my arm out, she started putting the needle in, and usually people can just slide the needle in and it's ready to go. Like my vein is that easy to access. But for some reason she had a bit of a poke around. I'm not too sure why, but she had a bit of a poke around and she must have nudged it just ever so slightly, because on the top end of the needle, suddenly my blood started spurting out like a water fountain. It's like my vein was saying to her, what are you doing? I make this easy for you. Get out, do your job. I just sprayed blood at her. It just went everywhere, all over my arm, all over the desk, and part of her hand. Oh, it was hilarious. We couldn't stop giggling about it. But she did manage to get plenty of blood samples and she was very, very impressed actually by my blood, saying that I have really, like the way the blood was coming out, it's like, you've got really strong veins, you've got a really good blood pump here. I'm like, it's good to know. Good to know. More clarification that I am healthy on the inside, even if I don't look it on the outside. Great, I have no issues there. That is how my first booking appointment went, to basically get my medical history and see whether or not I am a high-risk pregnancy, which I am, and I am reaping every benefit for it I can get. In a way, I actually feel privileged to be a high-risk pregnancy because, like I said, I get all these extra tests, all these extra checks, all these extra scans to see how baby's doing, which most people during pregnancy I think get 2 or 3 scans, maybe 4. I'm going to be getting like 10. I get to see the baby all the way through. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. And I think that's a really, really big privilege to be in a high-risk pregnancy. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys be. I need to get food because I am starving, because I haven't eaten much today, because I've not been hungry. Actually today, I've not been hungry at all. I have not had the hunger kick in today. I had the nausea this morning and then it wore off by about dinner time. It wore off just before my booking appointment. So, but other than that, I've not had many symptoms today. I'm having a good day of no symptoms and I'm loving it. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I am going to hydrate a bit more. And dribble it down my top apparently. And I will hopefully see you very soon, or who knows, depending on how long this vlog is, I might see you in a couple of seconds. I might see you in the next video. I don't know. But I was hoping to do some exercise today. Let's just say the day has not gone as planned. I've not long got home. I've not long got home at all. I really need to eat. And then after eating, I've promised Jason to have some gaming time with him. So we're going to do that instead tonight. And I can focus on my exercises tomorrow instead. So I will see you guys soon. Blade has officially filed bankruptcy. I have won. Keeping in mind, I am blue and Blade is red.
Look at all my properties.
He had to mortgage every single one. So do starships are hotels? So I just nipped to Tesco to get my granddad a Father's Day card. a Father's Day card specifically for granddads. It was the only one. It was the only one that had Father's Day for granddads, which I find quite rude. Like, grandfathers are just as important on Father's Day. And I'm actually going to tell my granddad through this little card. So I've got to granddad. And then at the bottom I said, I hope you don't mind being a great granddad one more time. And yes, I realise I have accidentally put an extra D in granddad. Lots of love, Ashley, Jason and baby. And the reason I've actually put that, I've been a bit more mysterious with telling other people in a sense. And the reason I've actually just put Ashley, Jason and baby is because my granddad is in his 90s now. He's getting on in age. He's really getting on in age. We're amazed that he's actually lasted this long, which sounds so rude to say, but he has a lot of medical issues. He's got Crohn's disease. He has slow growing cancer. He's had skin cancer. He's had recurring skin cancer and so many other health issues. It's like the fact that he's still going strong is just absolutely astounding. It really is. Because he is getting on in age, his memory isn't 100%. He does forget things really easily, and every time I go to see him we do end up having similar conversations every time. There's been several occasions where I've had to remind him that I've got ulcerative colitis because he forgets. He forgets every single time. He doesn't remember. And that's not his fault. It's part of his age. He does have memory loss. So I didn't think he would click on if I made it a bit more mysterious or a bit more problem solving. So I just thought I'd make it obvious by saying Ashley, Jason and baby. I'm going to go show him now. And again, I'm not going to record it because I find I'd want to know people's consent and I don't want to be rude to my grandfather and put him on the internet without his permission. I'm going to keep the actual telling him private. Hopefully he'll be happy about it. Oh, how far along am I now? I forgot. I'm feeling really nauseous today. I've not long had breakfast and I've been feeling really, really nauseous since breakfast. So I am currently 7 weeks and 5 days along. Again, that is approximately, hi Lyra, that is approximately because I still not had my dating scan. That is just going off the private scan that I had a few weeks ago, or just over a week ago now. Oh. Like I said, I've not long had my breakfast and I'm feeling really nauseous. Really, really nauseous today. I'm having what I call a bad symptom weekend. My body seems to know when I'm off work and seems to know when I have rest days because that's when my symptoms really ramp up. Like during the week when I'm in work, my symptoms aren't too bad. I can pretty much manage and cope with them. But at the weekend, at the minute when I'm on rest days or when a day where I've not got much to do, my symptoms are ramping up bad. The nausea gets really bad, the fatigue gets really bad. But the rest of the time, I don't really feel it. I don't really have many symptoms through the week or if I'm busy. Today is actually Father's Day. And I wished Jason a happy Father's Day this morning. He actually left work before I even woke, or left for work before I even woke up. So I sent him a text saying, happy Father's Day, father-to-be. I don't even think he's read yet because he's got a busy day at work today. And we also wished his dad a happy Father's Day. And I was hoping to wish my dad a happy Father's Day today, but he's actually going out and spending the day with my mum. Sorry, parrots are having a moment there. So instead, I'm going to go see my dad tomorrow. I was hoping, go away nausea. Every time I start talking, I start feeling sick. And the congestion isn't helping. Oh. I'm going to go see my dad tomorrow. I'm hoping to go see my granddad in a bit. I wanted to just make this little video first. Oh, my God, the nausea is so bad today. The nausea is so bad today. It's like I've just got a lump in my throat there. And it's just threatening. Constantly threatening, and it's awful because just talking makes you feel like you're gonna be sick. It's just awful. I'm trying everything to keep it down because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to throw up. I want to keep my nutrition down. I might have to try and lie down or have a nap just to try and stop the nausea a minute. For anyone that doesn't know, slow deep breaths help. Slow deep breaths really help. Just relax and reduce the nausea ever so slightly. Where's my ginger? I need ginger. To be fair, eating more when I feel like I'm about to throw up is probably not a good idea, but ginger is extremely good for sickness and I really love, I never used to. It used to be too tart and too strong for me, but crystallised ginger is a godsend at the moment. It really, really is. It really is a godsend. Anytime my nausea is extremely bad or I do feel like I'm going to be sick, just chomp down on a bit of crystallised ginger and it solves so much problem. The nausea just magically disappears. It's great. Like I said, I'm going to go see my granddad today. He's my last remaining grandparent. I'm going to go, I don't know if my dad's told him yet, so I'm going to go tell him the good news today if he hasn't, and also wish him a happy Father's Day because it is Father's Day today. Applause. Need to do your nails. So yeah, that's pretty much my update for today. We're coming up to week 8 now. I'm only one day away. One day, maybe 2 days away from week 8. And I've got my first official scan. Yeah, I have my first dating scan now. It's booked for the 7th of July, which is very exciting. And that's going to be when we get a better idea, a more accurate idea of how far along baby is, or little minion is. And we're also going to have a more accurate or more up-to-date due date, which I'm still expecting to be end of January, even though the NHS still think it's going to be early January or mid-January. Oh. Oh, yummy. So that is now booked for the 7th of July. I also have a physiotherapy appointment at some point because of my overactive bladder. So that is going to be interesting to see how that goes. Oh, me. I would much rather burp than vomit. Burping over vomiting is much better. I'm going to go see my granddad now and see how he's getting on, give him the good news. And I will hopefully speak to you guys another day. Or if something happens today that I need to let you know about, then I'll give you a bit of an update later today. But for the time being, I might not speak to you till tomorrow. Or I'm hoping to get some exercises done today. Even though Sunday is meant to be rest day, I've not been able to get any exercise done for the rest of the week because I've been so busy. But I really need this nausea to calm down if I'm going to do any exercise, because the nausea is strong today. It is so strong today. So I'm back home after visiting my granddad. I actually went to Tesco and got Jason some Father's Day gifts because today is... Lyra, get off the camera. Today is technically Jason's first unofficial Father's Day. The girls are a bit excited because I got the camera out. So I just want to show you the little setup I've made for him for when he gets home. I'm not actually expecting a reaction of any form, so I'm not really going to film his reaction when he gets home. I just wanted to show you guys. Stop squeaking! I just want to show you guys what I've got set up for him. So this is what I've got set up for Jason, ready for when he comes home. I've got his favourite non-alcoholic cider because just like me, he is pretty teetotal and doesn't really drink. But we do love the non-alcoholic cider. I've got him a card which actually says Happy Father's Day Daddy to Be, which is really cute. I got these little jumpers which are 3 to 6 months old from Tesco, with one saying happiness feels like sunshine and Daddy's little sunshine. And then another one which is a bit bigger, which is a up to 3 months old, which says Daddy's double. So I'm hoping he will like the surprise because I don't usually... Go on then. I don't usually put effort into things like this. I'm a bit lazy when it comes to things like this. I find it a waste of money sometimes. I find cards a waste of money. I find buying unnecessary things a waste of money. But at the same time, I do want Jason to feel special today because, you know, it's an exciting thing for me more than anything. Also for Jason, today being his first official or unofficial Father's Day. So I hope that is a nice surprise that he's going to look forward to when he gets home. I really hope so. Girls. My parrots are both being annoying now because I've got the camera out and I'm recording. They have to be the centre of attention. But that is pretty much my day. I've actually changed into my pyjamas because, like I said, my pregnancy symptoms are slightly stronger today. I am quite fatigued. The nausea has finally worn off. I actually had to go to bed for an hour just to lie down. I literally just didn't do anything but lie down, lie on my side, just to ease the nausea, which worked a treat. So that finally wore off, but the fatigue is still pretty... The cat's running round. Hi, Jinx. So the fatigue is pretty strong today and I am actually quite low on energy. So I am going to just rest for the rest of the day and focus on video editing, and I am going to try and double down on my fitness and exercise this coming week when I'm a little bit more free. And it's also a bit quieter this week because a couple of my dogs are on holiday. Why are all the animals being so loud today? So I'm going to take the rest of the day to video edit because I'm currently video editing March, which means that I'm getting close to actually doing my reveal that I'm pregnant and then starting my pregnancy series. It's not going to start quite yet. I want to try and hold off until I've got the official 12-week scans. I know. But we will see. We will see.